Forget about Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth. Here at Penguin, we are celebrating the very best platonic love affairs in fiction. We want to shine a light on all those wonderful relationships that don't involve sending red roses, chocolate boxes, or love letters. But maybe they should. First up, it's Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, from A.A. Milne's classic children's tale, Winnie the Pooh. The first collection of Winnie the Pooh stories was published in 1926 and follows the adventures of Christopher Robin's toys, Pooh Bear, Piglet, Eeyore, Owl, Tigger, Rabbit, Kanga and Roo. Piglet is incredibly timid and nervous, and despite Pooh being referred to as a bear of very little brain, Piglet considers Pooh his closest friend and trusts him implicitly, even if it ends up getting Piglet into a sticky situation.
Oh, bother. I don't remember thinking that through.
Milne writes that Piglet sidled up to Pooh from behind. "Pooh," he whispered. "Yes, Piglet?" "Nothing," said Piglet, taking Pooh's paw. "I just wanted to be sure of you." Why do we love them so much? Well, not only are Piglet and Pooh a hilarious duo getting into all sorts of mischief, mainly arising from misunderstandings, but they are also incredibly lovable and share a very profound friendship. Next up, it's our favourite crime-solving duo Sherlock and Watson from Arthur Conan Doyle's series of novels, beginning with The Study in Scarlet in 1887. Whilst it may appear that Sherlock is the star of the show and Watson is just the trusty sidekick, it becomes very clear that Sherlock would be absolutely lost without Watson, even if he has a hard time showing his appreciation.
You envy me.
Your mind, so placid, straightforward, barely used. Mine's like an engine, racing out of control.
In The Adventure of the Three Garridebs, published in 1924, Watson is shot and we get a small glimpse into Sherlock's true feelings as he reprimands Watson's assailant. "By the Lord, it is as well for you. If you had killed Watson, you would not have got out of this room alive." It was, as Watson tells us, the one and only time he caught a glimpse of a great heart as well as a great brain.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Sherlock. Sherlock!
Why do we love them so much? They are the perfect case of opposites attract. Their differences complement one another as all great partnerships do.
What's this? Or Cluedo?
No.
We are never playing that again.
Next up, it's Mrs. Bennet's two eldest daughters, Jane and Elizabeth, from Jane Austen's classic novel Pride and Prejudice. These two are clearly the closest out of the five sisters, and Elizabeth, being the more outgoing, displays a clear defensiveness of Jane, believing people misjudge her shy nature. Elizabeth is rightly outraged by Mr. Darcy's intervention into Mr. Bingley's feelings for Jane, and refuses Darcy's proposal of marriage with a sassy rebuke, telling him he was the last man in the world whom she could ever be prevailed on to marry.
Do you think that anything might tempt me to accept the man who has ruined, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister?
Why do we love this relationship so much? Well, sisters are the best. A friend that you will never lose, and who better to have rooting for you than a stubborn Elizabeth Bennet? Next up, it's the heartbreaking story of George and Lenny from John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men, published in 1937. Set during the Great Depression of the 1930s, George takes Lenny under his wing as they travel from ranch to ranch looking for work. It becomes very clear that George is the only one who understands Lenny's nature and protects him from getting into trouble. On meeting the pair, another character, Slim, remarks, "Well, I never seen one guy take so much trouble for another guy." Why do we love them so much? The tender and paternal nature with which George guides and protects Lenny displays huge generosity and uncharacteristic understanding for a man of this time. But it's not just a one-way relationship. George clearly gets a lot from Lenny's company, remarking that guys like us that work on ranches are the loneliest guys in the world. With us, it ain't like that. We've got a future. We've got somebody to talk to that gives a damn about us.
Well, we ain't like that. No. We got a future. We got somebody to talk to that gives a damn about it.
Next up, who doesn't love the beautiful relationship that blossoms when William is sent to stay with Mr. Tom during World War II in Michelle Magorian's 1981 novel, Goodnight, Mr. Tom. It is an unexpected relationship that forms as Tom, a reclusive widow, is given William to care for during the war, teaching him how to read and write and encouraging him to make friends at school. It is an example of one of those relationships that has changed the two people in equal part, with William gaining a loving home and Mr. Tom gaining a newfound purpose in his life.
Now, try again. Only this time, take your time.
Throughout the entire book, William refers to his guardian, Tom Oakley, as Mr. Tom, but by the end of the book, Megorian writes that William looked up at Tom and leaned forward in his direction. "Dad," he ventured, "Dad, I'm growing." Why do we love this so much? We think this is a great example of showing how family comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and the people you love and that love and care about you don't have to be related. Next up, in a roundup of best friendships, we of course had to include Frodo Baggins and Samwise Gamgee from J.R.R. Tolkien's epic Lord of the Rings trilogy. When Gandalf the Wizard tasks Samwise to accompany Frodo Baggins on his perilous journey with the ring, he couldn't have known what an unbelievably key part Sam would play. Sam is the ultimate bad weather friend, protecting Frodo when he is at his weakest and most vulnerable. This famous quote from the Peter Jackson films is a direct lift from the book's text and is delivered so wonderfully by actor Sean Astin.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
We know who we'd want with us if we had to take a trip to Mordor. Next up, the relationship between humans and animals should not be underestimated. Anyone that has ever had a pet knows the huge bereavement felt when that animal dies, so we wanted to highlight one of the many amazing stories that illustrates this, and have chosen Michael Morpurgo's War Horse. An incredibly unusual novel, it details the events of World War I through Joey the horse's perspective, and Albert's mission to return him home safely. When Joey is injured from the war, he recalls, "In the darkest days of my illness, when I felt sure each day might be my last, only Albert's constant presence kept alive in me the will to live." The book has been adapted into both an award-winning play as well as an acclaimed film directed by Steven Spielberg. It is the ultimate story of friendship, transcending even species. Next up, it's the most lovable bear from deepest, darkest Peru. It's Paddington Bear from Michael Bond's famous children's book series, originally published in 1958. In the book Paddington Goes to Town, Bond writes, Paddington has a habit of bringing people closer together. When the marmalade-eating Paddington arrives in London, the Brown family take him in, and whilst Paddington causes all sorts of mischief and trouble, he wins over the hearts of the Browns, bringing them closer together as a family, whilst gaining a family of his own.
We love Paddington, and that makes him family. And families stick together. So if you want him, you'll have to take us all!
During the first Paddington book, A Bear Called Paddington, he announces, "I think I may paint a family portrait now. That is, if I have room for all the smiles." Last up, the complications and affections of sisterhood are devastatingly explored in Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning modern classic novel, The Colour Purple. In unimaginably difficult circumstances, sisters Celie and Nettie are separated after facing horrific abuse from the men in their lives. The two spend years living in separate continents, but the bond that sisters share, despite all the barriers they face from parents, lovers and circumstances, is brought home in Walker's intensely emotional narrative. When the two are finally reunited at the end of the novel, Celie remarks, "I don't think us feel old at all, and us so happy. Matter of fact, I think the youngest us ever felt. Being reunited with her sister Nettie has given her a new lease of life." The book perfectly illustrates that there are certain things you share with the sibling that cannot be lost no matter how long you have been apart. So there you have it, a celebration of some of the best platonic relationships in fiction. Don't forget to tell all the wonderful people in your life just how much you appreciate them. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Penguin YouTube channel by clicking here. And if you can think of any more fabulous fictitious friendships, then let us know in the comments below. See you next time!